5,
4,
3,
2, 1.
And welcome back to the Sports
the
Freak.
music still going?
Of course.
Why am I?
Look at my
why am
Of course.
I in my head?
Oh my
Do
God.
it again.
All right, I'll stop.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Freaks Club podcast. As always, I'm Zelda Snake 300, but you can call me Zelda Snake, joined by Sam Chips, Mark Bassler, Matt Fish, and we are back at it again, same as usual. We got a lot to cover today. We will start with Samuel, my good friend.
Well, as this is a Tottenham shirt, my team, we're going to talk about, well,
Hold it!
soccer.
Hold it!
Football.
Hold it. Who's your team?
Who's your team?
Tottenham.
But I thought it was Arsenal.
No.
I thought it was Arsenal.
No,
I thought it was.
said it for the
You
last
said it was
episode.
Arsenal.
What?
No. You said it was Arsenal. No.
Anyone who's
no,
watching,
no,
anyone who's watching, if you remember in the first episode, I said when I talked about the different soccer teams,
You
that
said you
Sam
were
was
Man City.
Arsenal.
Said it was.
You said Matt said he was Man City. He said I was Liverpool. He said you were Arsenal, and now you're
No. Look
What
back. I
decision?
swear to God, look back at like the teams I put in that
Oh
whole.
my God! Way to start an episode. Way to start an episode.
We're going to be talking about football, as they say everywhere else in the world, except for maybe the United States and Australia as well.
Soccer.
So anyway, I mean they say soccer, but we're not going to talk about that.
Anyway.
This is some news that's going on through the football world. One of them is that Luis Suarez, from a Uruguayan player for Barcelona, the striker, and was the front runner with Neymar, Suarez, and Messi. Now it's only just Messi at Barcelona. Luis Suarez has now gone to Atletico Madrid, which means it's now just Messi. And this whole situation has actually brought up more fire into this whole Messi Barcelona leaving situation where
Free Messi.
Got it. Hashtag free Messi. Free Messi. Hashtag free Messi.
Free Messi.
So he's put out on social media saying he's not surprised that this is going on, that they give him, that they're allowed, that he's allowed to, that Suarez is allowed to leave Barcelona, but Messi isn't. And it really does. And there's actually a photo. I forgot where it is, but like it shows the Barcelona logo with Messi in that yellow and red stripe going down. And they made it look more like a prison for Messi. And then other than that, we have big for Tottenham. Gareth Bale is back at Tottenham. He has been at the club. God, I forgot how long he's been there for, but I remember he was probably one of the reasons why I was watching Tottenham, as well as Clint Dempsey when he was at Tottenham. But he's going to be back. He's a legend at Tottenham, and I'm hoping he's able to play. I want him to play. I saw videos of how he looked he was at Real Madrid for like those last 2 years, and to now look at how he is right now, you can see he's a lot happier. Where at Tottenham, he doesn't feel like there's like somebody breathing down his neck to be like, you gotta be this, and it's not a good place for Tottenham to be right now. But if I do want, and this is something that is big for us as Americans, and probably hopefully all of us soccer fans, talking about you, Mark.
A lot.
Where the big one is that there are a lot of Americans playing in Europe right now. The big
right, yeah.
And so there's two right now, as I know, There's Christian Pulisic playing at Chelsea. He's injured right now, but he's still at Chelsea. There's a young goalkeeper that's American on Manchester City called Zach Steffen. I think I said his name right. There, and then we go to Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund in Germany, with Giovanni Reina and Tyler Adams at Red Bull Leipzig. And then another big one is there's Weston McKennie at Juventus playing alongside with Ronaldo. And now one that's coming out is that an American may go to Barcelona.
Little off topic, but you mentioned that like one of the Red Bull teams was like one of the options, I think. And then I thought to myself, like, how many Red Bull teams are there? Like, I know that like the New York Red Bulls is one prime example, of course, for like MLS, but there's in fact, the Brazilian Serie A, like where Italy has theirs. The Brazilian version has a Red Bull team as well. I forgot the name of it off the top of my head, but it's just something that I wanted to bring up because there's a lot of it. Huh?
Well, there's Red Bull Leipzig, Red Bull New York, Red Bull Salzburg, Red Bull.
Too many Red Bulls. My God.
Seriously,
God,
why-
can we have a Monster energy drink team?
please?
So like there's a
Red
bunch
Bull
of,
gives you wings.
Get out. Hashtag not
They-
sponsored.
coming from a New York
Man,
City.
no.
That's disgraceful. Okay, so I kind of want to ask this I'd say for us, even whether we watch soccer or not, how big is this for Americans to be playing outside of the United States, or maybe let's say outside of North America or South America?
I think
Hmm.
like I'm just gonna put this out there. According to sources, the best players for soccer come from Paris. For some reason, they just all come from Paris. The fact that, there are a lot of teams, of course, where like the majority of their players are not from that nation. There are American players in MLS. There are American players probably somewhere, like you said, in Europe. There are tons of players from like the African continent, the European continent that play in MLS. And the fact that now American players can come outside and play in Europe, this gives them a chance to practice with those who are more or less experienced than the average American team or average American player. Because when you look at American soccer, I can understand why people don't want to watch it as much, besides it being the same thing as everywhere else. But when you see players who are from outside of the U.S., it's like these guys got skills. When you see players in the U.S. that are from the U.S., they could use a little more training,
Yeah.
practice. And of course, I never
Definitely
really
more
played any, but yeah, definitely more experience. And like they can be starting from as young as when they were in whatever youth academy the associated team has. But for some reason, I don't know why, but outside of the U.S., soccer is just better.
Wait, you think that? Wait, are we talking about the U.S. Are you talking about the U.S. team or just as in like Major League Soccer?
So okay, so this is I'm gonna put out this dilemma for everyone that has happened because that has happened. So if everyone remembers, the United States did not make it into the World Cup in 2018, and that was I would say that was the lowest point for the American soccer, because we make it and we have a very let's say our group stage that we usually make is very easy. Like we should be making it. And not only did we lose to teams that were better. We cannot forget the fact that we cannot lie that Mexico has a very good team.
Oh yes.
Ooh,
They do.
very impressive.
I can go on saying, that we should be able to beat teams like Canada, Costa Rica, and there's a lot of other countries in there that we can beat. We lost, if you remember, 2-1 to Trinidad and Tobago in the World Cup qualifiers. And that was one of the, and that game everything went wrong. So and if I will also put this out there, that around that time there was only maybe like a couple players playing like very well in Europe. The only one who was actually doing well was Pulisic, who was playing at Dortmund. Now we have maybe I don't know if we have half, but we definitely have a good amount playing outside, and that's very good for the American soccer.
I will say, like, going back of what you asked us earlier, like in terms of American teams doing good, in the international teams, like you mentioned, with 2018, us losing the World Cup qualifiers. I feel like right now at this point in time, this will actually be good for the American players because most people when going to teams like Juventus, Real Madrid, they obviously have the players, they have the coaching staff, they have the experience of actually winning championships. And I feel like if those young players can actually learn from those guys and learn how to win, I feel like they could bring that kind of caliber into the U.S. soccer team if they actually do make the team going forward into the future. Because obviously we don't want a repeat of what happened in 2018 because we know that the U.S. we all know that the women's U.S. team is so good, but the men's team can do so much better. And I feel like with those kinds of experience, I feel like the men's soccer team could, make a statement once again.
Here I'm going to add on to that, Matt. Like you mentioned, where the women's soccer team in the U.S. is like better than the men's. Like, I'm going to say it. The men's team can learn a thing or two from the women's team.
Oh, yeah.
I know this is going to spark some conversation, but like, you got to admit it, guys. The women's team is badass. They're so successful, for crying out loud.
They are.
Who was the last champion of the Women's World Cup?
Us.
Us.
Actually, can I put a little fact? Alex Morgan from the American women's team, is playing for the women's Tottenham Hotspur team. So
that's right.
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's right.
I heard.
That's big on my end as well. Okay, come on, you Spurs.
I just realized the amount of editing I'm gonna have to do for this. Sam, you're really putting me to work.
Go for it. Okay, so to go back to my question. Now that we have American soccer players in the European leagues of soccer, football, for those who say like that, do you think this is going to help? Is this going to be good or bad for the American soccer team?
It's going to be good.
It's definitely going to be.
In terms of National League.
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
There's no
it's going to be good. It's going to be good on both ends. It's going to be on both ends.
Mark brings up a good point. There is not going to be any negatives from this.
Yeah, I mean, what would be a point for leaving negatives? Like, especially like what you said, what Michael and Matt, what you both said about like women almost like leading like this like soccer division, like showing them that they're as good just as the men is. I mean, this is all just a positive reviews. Like nothing negative can really come from this.
Yeah. Plus when you think about it, like most of the European, leagues, like not all these players are going to last forever. And I feel like if they want to keep their teams very alive and successful, then they need to get younger guys on there, even if it's out of their state. It is what it is. It has to be done. And I feel like it's going to be all but good things for both the European and the international. Well, sorry, the European and the U.S. league.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
I think we can leave it at that, honestly, because there's not much else.